Iain White, you are one of the UK's, if not the main UK's consultant for some of the biggest UK estate agents. What is your opinion on the relationship between Rightmove and the estate agency industry? Talk to me.
Wow, big topic. I think it's reaching a point of collapse, in my honest opinion, genuine opinion. So look, Rightmove, on the face of it, provide, you can't deny it, a very good value for money service. They ultimately are cheaper than the average negotiator per office, and they produce, they do produce leads and eyeballs on your.
They produce a level playing field where basically every agent can put their properties in one location and the people can find it. So they haven't got to faff about trying to sell the properties.
Correct. That said, the simple act of just putting your prices up without improving the technology or any grounding or any reasonable, way beyond the rate of inflation, etc., just year after year, particularly in a stressed industry, doesn't seem the right way to protect your golden. Because let's be honest, the agents are their golden pot.
Yeah.
And I think they have a duty of care, because if the estate agents' numbers reduce by 25%, well, they have a problem. Now, the problem is they will turn that problem on the 75% that are left, because I just don't think Rightmove will accept lower revenues. So for me, they do abuse their position of they're in such a strong, dominant position. I think they abuse that. I think if legally challenged, they would lose, personally. I think if the industry chose to get together and say, hang on a second, this is an abuse of your market position, I think there is very clear evidence of that. I think the act, when they upsell you a package, that your fees go up by $500-600 a month, but if you then say, well, actually it's not working for me and you want to bring it back, they've somehow manoeuvred things that you end up saving half of nothing but losing all the product. I think that's a scam or a con, for the want of a better word. So I think, and to be honest with you, I think that they're struggling now technology wise, because I am seeing platforms that, if you, for much less money, you can produce much better quality and much higher volume leads than Rightmove or any portal will ever produce.
Here's a question. I find it fascinating that estate agents judge the ROI, the return on investment, on Rightmove to the number of leads they get,
As opposed to the number of transactions.
Well, what's the purpose of the portal? Surely the purpose of the portal is to get the properties in front of the buyers, not provide vendor leads.
It depends on the mantra of the portal. I'll be honest with you, I think Rightmove's purpose is to draw as much money out of the estate agents as they possibly can. Okay. I don't think they care about the results particularly. Some of the other portals definitely have a more softer approach towards the estate agents, because I happen to know some of them and have met some of them, and they clearly are the friend of the agent, albeit they're still portals.
I mean, you roll the clock back to 2000, 2005, and basically the perception was Rightmove was your partner. We were in this together.
I've never felt Rightmove as my partner, if I'm honest with you, right back from day one. So my biggest problem is that the estate agent will take their data, which is the property, they put it into a space where there's lots of eyeballs, but the problem is those eyeballs are then deflected into your competitors' paths when you use a portal. And if you go onto Rightmove today, around your property will be things like adverts selling HSBC mortgages, directly competing with you, and you don't get a share of that revenue. People like Wandone give you a share of the revenue, and they don't charge you for the listing. No brainer. Go on Wandone, there's no cost. Even if they don't produce you a single lead, you've lost nothing. There are adverts all around your listings of other agents trying to either take your staff or trying to take your customers. So certainly if you were a big market leader, like the company I used to be involved with when I was working, why would you take all of your traffic and literally put it on the laps of your biggest competitors? Because that's all, and be charged an ever-increasing amount for the privilege. In virtually any other space in the world, the traffic generator charges the aggregator for its traffic. We somehow have adopted, and we've allowed this to evolve in our industry, where we pay the aggregator for the traffic. So we give him the traffic, we give him our hard-earned P&L. They then take that traffic and monetize it with every other source that competes with us, including our competitors. I find that amazing.
So why didn't on the market work?
I think because disrupting a portal with another portal is flawed. I mean, and let's be honest, time has shown that it has just become another portal now. It's not owned by the estate agents. I think there was an agenda there for a few people to make a few quid. I think the small agents really did get burnt with the one only portal rule, the ones that came off where the other leads were coming from.
I have a number of clients have had the balls to leave Rightmove,
Yep.
and actually found that if you're judging a portal by the number of leads and the number of viewings, that putting properties on Facebook can actually cost a hell of a lot less money and produce better results. Do you think Rightmove are scared of the likes of social media platforms?
If they're not, they should be. If they're not, they should be. The issue we have now is not really what Rightmove does for the agent. It's the fear that the agent has if they're not on Rightmove. I mean, that's the we've
So
reached
bang
this.
on.
So in reality, again, if you watch, I observe lots of valuations, and it's very rare that the consumer will bring Rightmove into the conversation. What they do is ask, "Will I be on the internet?" And the answer is, "Well, yes."
Isn't it interesting that it's just a tiny little thing? Our perception is we will be on. We have to be on Rightmove, but you're saying because most bosses don't go out, do they? You've been on lots of valuations. I didn't realise people say, "Oh, will I be on the internet?" Not.
I mean,
not
look, some
online.
people will mention Rightmove.
Yes.
It would be a fib of me to say that they didn't, but it's not as institutional as we might think. In addition to which, a client will be happy if you can show them what you're demonstrating as your strategy, and having a strategy that is actually different from the others is probably quite an intelligent thing to do. I don't think it's right at the moment. My advice to estate agents is spend no more on the portals than you have to. Don't buy any of the bells and whistles. Stick with Rightmove for now, because I think your own strength of mind and fear of missing out with your listers is probably not quite. But you should now start preparing yourself to remove your reliance on them by looking at new technologies, spending and investing some money in them, getting some clear and categorical proof about how they outgun. Both the proof to be able to show demonstratively to the house seller or the landlord, but also to be able to show to your own internal audience.
Because let's be frank, when we were valuing many years ago, we've been here before when we came off the newspapers. Everyone's perception was that you had to be on the newspapers, and slowly but surely we dropped the newspapers, and we not got away with it. But surely, if we can show the potential vendor that yes, you don't have to be on Rightmove, but there are other things that are better, which produce better results, and as long as we tell that story and prove it, we'll be okay, won't we? It comes back to what you were saying. We have to prepare for this.
Yeah, I think we should start moving in a direction of removing our reliance on the portals, so that we can train our own brains that the fear of missing out it's a flawed process. There is no missing out on anything as long as you can orate exactly what your strategy is and you've got the right strategy.
So it really comes back to what you were saying before, that you've got to work out what your values are, what your why is, have great staff, have great systems, and don't basically be reliant on this drug called Rightmove.
Yes, I think so. I definitely, if I was opening an agency today, would go on Rightmove. But I would be building a strategy to be able to prove to myself and my team and my customers that actually I didn't need it. Once I had that proof, I'd be off straight away. And that proof is already there. It's there now, today.
Thank you.